What is up, guys? Frugal BC, and today we're going to talk about how the SEC is screwing you over. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about how Celsius has changed their reward structures, actually kind of ending it if you're not an accredited investor. We're going to talk about that, what it means for you, and why it's happening, all on today's Frugal BC. What is up, guys? Frugal BC coming back at you, and thanks so much for tuning into the show. Unfortunately, I have some bad news today, and the bad news is that Celsius is ending its rewards program starting April 15th. Depending on when you're seeing this, it may have already happened. Now, the deal is that anyone who has their money in the rewards program is grandfathered in for those coins, but you cannot add more to them unless you are an accredited investor. What does that mean? Accredited investor just means you either earn $200,000 a year or more. That's not me, I'll tell you that much. Or you have $1 million net worth. And that is also not me. Otherwise, I would not be working and I'd be making a whole lot more videos. So I am not in that camp. I'm sure many of my viewers are also not in that camp. We're going to talk a little bit about why this is, and I'm going to rant and rave about the SEC for a while, so prepare for that. We're going to talk about how the SEC has let us down in the past and how now they're letting us down again. Instead of how I'll get into my rant later. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. Appreciate that. As you know, you don't have to smash it. You can just kind of press it gently. Up to you. However you want to press it is totally up to you. And if you hit that like button for the algorithms, the YouTube algorithms, they like it when you do that. So appreciate that so much. As you know, my channel, it's all about bringing you, boiling this stuff down simply so you guys can understand it. I'm just a regular Joe figuring this crypto stuff out, and we're going to figure it out together. I do the experiments, I put a little money in, and tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. Just that simple. So anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to show you what Celsius put out, and then I dove in a little deeper. Motley Fool actually had a post on it, but let's take a look. Yeah, so this is the post that Celsius put out. They put a nice little bullet points down here, and just to kind of explain to you what's going to happen. So all coins transferred to Celsius by users in the United States prior to April 15th will continue to earn rewards. Those existing coins will earn rewards for as long as they remain in their earn accounts. However, April 15th, 2022, same day, Celsius will be launching a new custody solution for users in the United States. Now, what does custody mean? Celsius will serve as a centerpiece of your home for crypto, providing a secure way to navigate across Celsius products, including store, access, borrow, spend, earn, and grow. I don't know what that means, because basically, from what I understand, they're pretty much cutting out the earnings, the rewards. New transfers made by non-accredited investors in the United States will be held in their custody account. Custody accounts will not earn rewards, so no rewards. Non-accredited investors continue to swap, borrow, transfer. Yeah, great. For users in the United States, all coins posted as collateral against a loan, that is open prior to April 15th, will be returned to their earn accounts when the loan is repaid. These coins will resume earning rewards as long as they remain in the earn accounts. So, like I said, you're basically grandfathered in. This is, if you had it in before, you will keep it. If you are a verified accredited investor, you could add new coins to your earn accounts and they will earn rewards. But if you're not, too bad. Also, by the way, if you're outside the US, you can keep earning this. So we'll never stop advocating for financial freedom. We thank the community for ongoing support. So you might ask yourself, well, why? So why is this happening? Yeah, this is from fool.com, and they kind of spell out everything that happened. And then they say, well, the Celsius is under investigation in several U.S. states. Authorities in Texas, New Jersey, and Alabama have questioned whether its products violate U.S. security laws. In a press release, Celsius said the move is a result of ongoing discussions with United States regulators. Yeah, discussions is a funny way to put it, but there probably are some discussions going behind the scenes. But when they have a threat of lawsuit, that's a very different discussion. Okay. Let's just be clear about that. So in fact, some of its competitors, as they point out, such as BlockFi, reached a $100 million settlement with the SEC and withdrew its lending earning product from the American market. SEC said BlockFi's interest-paying product should be categorized as a security. So let's talk a little bit about this, because I think this is a really important thing to discuss when we, there's some questions here. Now, should these be treated as securities? I don't know. I'm not even going to weigh in on that. What I'm going to look at is how the SEC has handled securities in the past versus how they're handling crypto. I'm sure most of you remember 2008. I sure do. I was just starting in journalism back then, and I will tell you, it's a joke how poorly the SEC handled things in 2008. They were just asleep at the wheel. They did not care that these banks were packaging junk bonds and junk mortgage into derivatives into these financial packages, and then that they were being rated AAA when they were absolute garbage. People knew they were garbage. If you haven't seen The Big Short, you absolutely should. It's really the movie about what was going on then. There's some great documentaries too, and I think those are worth watching. Frontline had a great 4-part series. I think it's just one long thing now that they made it, but it's a great series on the financial meltdown. But basically they all say the same thing. You had these ratings agencies, and they knew that they would lose money if they were to deny any of these packages as being rated AAA, which, by the way, these bond ratings are really important. They're really important for municipalities too. It's really important for municipalities, like anything less than, because this affects like what borrowing rate you can get if you're a municipality. For them, it's like, it's kind of a stamp of approval for these things. So they were basically approving these terrible financial packages because they knew if they didn't, the organizations would just go to another agency and they would get the commission. So basically they were going to do it no matter how bad they were, right? So, and the SEC like was asleep at the wheel. They didn't care. But now they're really, really concerned that you and I might earn 8% on our, on our crypto that we're just holding in an account. The borrowing might pose a good example of a security, but then again, I'm still not sure, because I don't know if you know how finances work in the rich person world. And I just became aware of this like maybe a couple of years ago. Rich people don't necessarily spend their own money. What they have is a bunch of assets, and then they borrow against those assets, and they pretty much borrow in perpetuity. And what happens when they die, then the banks are made whole. So, and they've collected interest this whole time, so they've made money. And this is kind of the same thing you can do with crypto. Now, I didn't look deeply into enough to know if there's an exact one-to-one comparison. Basically, the idea is you can hold this crypto, and then you can borrow against your crypto and spend that while your crypto is still, making gains, and then you can pay it back later. That one, in all fairness, like maybe it needs to be looked at a little bit. I'm not going to weigh in on that, but what I think is ridiculous is the fact that the SEC is causing a ruckus about something like getting a little extra percentage on your crypto for holding it in your account. I don't see how that hurts anybody. I don't see how the SEC is protecting us, or any government regulators, how they're protecting us by preventing this earning program. What they're doing really is protecting the banks. The banks know that they cannot compete, even in the best of times, with 8% earnings. They just can't. I mean, I was earning between 8 and 10% on my US dollar coin. Now, US dollar coin, as you know, unless something goes seriously wrong, it stays $1. So basically, I've been using that as a savings account. So I have, I don't know, a certain amount, kind of like an emergency fund sort of. And then I'm just earning on it every week, earning it's been between 8 and 10%. It's changed back and forth. Also very interesting that only the US is doing this. You don't see this anywhere else. I see this as a huge protection of the banking industry, which has failed us time and again. So what should you do? That's a good question. I've thought about that myself. I will probably leave my crypto in my account because I don't see any reason not to keep earning. I wanted to get this out. I was going to post this tomorrow, but I want to get this out today because I want you guys to see this. I want you to be aware of it in case, if you want to put some money in now, you got time. You got till the end of the day on Friday, April 15th to do it. Sorry I didn't come across this sooner. But this is really, I just find it really frustrating. I don't know what's, and then now what I'm going to have to think about, because my plan, if and when Bitcoin shoots up to say an all-time high of some kind, maybe 80, 90, 100,000, my plan was to take some profits, which means I have to transfer out of Celsius back to Coinbase to take some profits. But now when I do that, it's probably still worth it mostly, but once I'm out, I can't really get back in. So if I want to keep earning on that Bitcoin, keep earning more Bitcoin, I have to leave it in there. And the same thing with the emergency fund. Like if I have to use that money, if I was planning to use it for something, once I take it out, I can't earn on it again. So I have to think about that really carefully too. It's really frustrating. It's a frustrating situation. Again, this is our tax dollars that are going towards kind of kicking ourselves in the butt. I don't understand what the point of this is. I know I'm just ranting and raving at this point, but it just doesn't make any sense. I wish they would spend more time going after like some of these banks who fund cartels, have been caught funding cartels, and they get what amounts to like a slap on the wrist. Go look that up. I'm not making that up. I can't remember what bank it is, so I don't want to say it on the air. If you read Matt Taibbi's book, it's full of examples by that. His book, Divide, one about how there's basically two criminal justice systems, one for the really, really, really poor, and one for financial or huge companies, like huge financial companies, especially. They get what seems like a big fine, but it really doesn't do much. It's like a day's revenue for them. So it's a rounding error almost. If even that, it might be like an hour. It depends what it is. But even banks that have funded cartels knowingly, I mean, they get what really amounts to a slap on the wrist. You and I, we'd be sitting in a deep dark hole somewhere. But listen, stay safe out there, guys. I wish I knew what to tell you on this. I'd say probably leave it in there as long as you can. Might as well keep earning if you already have it in there. If you don't, you want to, I don't know. I'm not going to give you financial advice, but up to you. But if you do want to, you got to do it by April 15th. So guys, let me tell me your political rants. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about the SEC and what they're forcing Celsius to do here. Or do you think Celsius acted too soon, or they should have fought harder? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Stay safe out there, guys. Be nice to each other. And as always, I'll see you in the future.